Hello, welcome to our Tuesday afternoon webinar. It's the Drivve PaperCut connector webinar, and the idea is that we allow you to send any job from any device, and we can send it directly into PaperCut so that you can use PaperCut to track and release the job. The newer versions of Drivve do have a tracking and reporting and a pull printing module, as well as the traditional mobile printing module. But a lot of times people still use PaperCut. You have existing customers for PaperCut, and we want to make it easy for you to use our mobile printing capabilities to send jobs into PaperCut so that they can be tracked. So what does it do? It's pretty straightforward. We allow you to print over 500 file formats, including Office files, CAD files, a lot of different things in there. We let you submit jobs from our free iOS or Android app, so the users can download those apps, they can log in with their Windows credentials, and they can submit jobs to PaperCut. They can submit jobs via email, so you could set up an email address. It could be a Gmail account, could be an internal account for a customer's with a customer's domain, and users can send jobs. And we can also submit jobs via AirPrint. So if you're on the network and the Drivve server's on the network, we'll broadcast all the printers as AirPrint printers, and also the PaperCut queue. And we also, here's the crux of it, we let you send it to the correct user's PaperCut queue. So if I send a job from my mobile device, I actually want it to be waiting for me when I go to the MFP and swipe my card or log in and go to release it from within PaperCut. So we know that PaperCut does have a few mobile printing capabilities, but there are a lot of reasons why you should use Drivve as the mobile printing server whenever you do a PaperCut installation. One of them is that there's no need for a Mac desktop, so you can use our iOS apps without having an iMac or a Mac server or anything like that. We can do it all from Windows. We can also set the AirPrint printers from Windows too. You don't need Microsoft Office or any other app on the server. We have a built-in converter that can handle all these file types without having to have those applications themselves. So there's no need to set up a separate server where you send it to get converted by Microsoft Office. You don't have to have that Office license on the server. You can do a virtual machine somewhere and not have any of those applications licensed. It can be easily installed on the PaperCut server. It should only take you about 10-15 minutes to install it, bring the users in, and point it to PaperCut, depending on how many email addresses you set up, things like that. But the install is very simple, it's very easy to use, and it's pretty straightforward. Also, we have a native app for iOS and Android, and they are free in the store. And once again, you don't need a Mac server to use those apps. So this is the big reason for scheduling this webinar today, is that we've changed the licensing a little bit. Now all you need is one license for the Drivve PaperCut connector, and that covers unlimited users and unlimited devices. So regardless of the size of the PaperCut implementation, if it's a large one or if it's a very small one, we don't care. You only need to buy one Drivve PaperCut connector for the MSRP of $19.95. There's a dealer cost to that. If you want to find it out, just contact sales@drivve.com or give us a ring and we'll set you up with the pricing. But yeah, regardless of how many printers there are, regardless of how many users there are, you just buy the Drivve PaperCut connector, and then all of those users can set up the app. They can email Word files and CAD files and things like that, and Drivve will convert them and Drivve will print them. So what I'm going to show you here real quick is actually the connector in action. So if you look here, I've got a email, and that email is, let's see, that email has a Word document. It's a Drivve image scope of work document. And I've set up this mailbox that I'm going to send the email to. And what I want is for that email to actually show up in my PaperCut queue. And so if I go into Drive print here on my server, you hear that little sound, it sent the email. If I go to Drive print here on my server, I can see that it's checking that email address every 5 seconds. Here we go, it gets a Drive image SOW message and it starts converting it. If I go down to completed jobs, there we go, that was number 22, and I guess it was only a page, so it went ahead and converted it right away. So there we go, 1107, that's where I am right now, 1107, and it converted that job. It was a .document file, so a Word file. I did not have Microsoft Office on this computer. Drive print converted it for me, and it sent it to the PaperCut queue. And if I go down here, I can see that it sent it to that logical printer here, PaperCut hold queue. And if I look at the PaperCut server, I'll go to printers and jobs pending release. Let's see. Oh, maybe it didn't. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, you see right here, it does it as the correct user. So B Hill is the user that it sends it as. So if you actually go to the MFP right now, you'll see that if you log in as B Hill, that job waiting to be released. So we've got about 100 or 200 implementations of this so far. It's pretty straightforward. We have, if you want to find more information, you can go to Drivve.com and you can go to support and services and Drive print and search PaperCut, and you'll find a host of different FAQs for that PaperCut connector. So there's a walkthrough for how to configure it, a step-by-step. You can also go to the download section and download Drive print, and you'll be able to set up that trial right away. So, and remember what I said, you only need the Drive print PaperCut connector license. So go to Drivve.com, download the software, get a trial, go to the knowledge base and search for PaperCut. And if you need more pricing or specific information or help about setting it up, give us a ring. And that's about it. If you have any questions, I'll take them here on the side. Just raise your hand or submit the question over there, and we'll answer them. So if you open the little GoToWebinar thing, you can hit the question and type it in, or you can send us an email and we'll contact you back. So someone asked if there are minimum versions of iOS and Android. The answer is no. We developed the app, I think, for iOS 5, so it works fine. I've got iOS 7, it works okay. Android, it goes all the way back to version 2 of Android. So I see someone asked, so you submit print jobs via email? Well, you can submit them via email, but you can also submit them via the mobile app and also as an AirPrint job with iOS. There's also an upload page that you can use, but I guess you could do that with PaperCut also. And someone asks, this will enable any printer to show up as AirPrint from the iPad. Yeah, that's true. Normally what we would do though is we would only show up or we would only display a device called AirPrint or called PaperCut, and when you print to that PaperCut AirPrint printer, it'll put it into your PaperCut queue. But yeah, otherwise you could set up the direct printers also. Someone asked if there's any Chromebook support. I think with Chromebook there's no real file structure anyway. So if you had a file and you're emailing it as an attachment, then yeah, it'll work. Also, I think Chromebook runs Android apps too. So someone asked also what the primary advantage over using PaperCut web printing is. Yeah, it's the file types. We can print 500 file types without having to have Office, without having to have CAD or anything like that. You just install Drivve Print, it takes care of all the conversion, and then it passes it to PaperCut. I think also the AirPrint piece is a little cleaner. We don't have to install a Mac ever to do either the iOS app or the AirPrint printers. We do that on our own, and then we still pass it to PaperCut. But yeah, the email printing and the file types is probably the biggest advantage. Okay, so no more questions. If you want, you can contact us, sales@drivve.com. You can send us an email or you can call us. We'll answer. We'll get back to you. And if you want help setting it up, try it first on your own. If you run into any problems, you can call our support line. Thanks. Have a great rest of the day.